What's good, everybody? It's your boy SBX. This video topic that I feel like I want to discuss is, all my years and all my times that I've met different wrestlers, rather if they're the legends or current superstars in WWE or TNA or Ring of Honor or New Japan Pro Wrestling. I feel though is that, all my years of going to these indie shows and live events and conventions, I've have met a lot of wrestlers for the past couple of years, and in my opinion, I feel like I want to list down the most nicest wrestlers that I've ever met and the ones that I believe are total dickheads, douchebags, or however you want to call it. And it's just my experience of meeting these wrestlers. Now, everybody may have their moments, like especially wrestlers. The wrestlers may have like a shitty moment, so they lash out or take their frustrations on the wrong people and whatnot. So, and there's some who are just legitimately cool and legitimately an asshole. So, anyways, though, folks, I want to list the most nicest wrestlers that I've ever met and the most rudest and just plain vindictive wrestlers that I ever met. So, roll the clip. The first person on my nice guy list is Chavo Guerrero. Now, I don't have a picture of him, me and him, as a photo ops together because the first time I went to a wrestling event, I couldn't afford a picture with Chavo Guerrero, but I came up to him and he saw me, and I was like, "Hey, how you doing, man?" And he was really nice. We had a 2-minute conversation or whatnot, and I gave him my condolence about him losing the most greatest wrestler and also his uncle Eddie Guerrero, and the Guerreros are, a good wrestling family, and they build so much legacy. Now, I feel though is that, Chavo Guerrero is really a humble guy, very nice and, willing to talk to his fans. So, I didn't really have much to say about this because, like I said, I only had like a 2-minute conversation with him. So, pretty much, Chavo Guerrero really deserved to be on my, good side of, wrestlers that I think are really cool. Next person on my list is the phenomenal AJ Styles. I've met AJ Styles pretty much 2 times before, or actually 3, but pretty much took a picture with him just that one time. However, the first time I met AJ Styles, he was the second person I met after I met Chavo Guerrero. And then, like I said, he looked at my direction and I looked at his, and, I said, "Hey, man," and, just like a crackhead would want somebody's attention. But, anywho, AJ is a nice guy, in my opinion. This is when he was released from TNA and went on to Ring of Honor and New Japan. Next guy on the list is X-Pac, aka 123 Kid, aka 6-Pac, real name Shaw Waltman. Now, I met this guy 3 times in my life, and the surprising fact that he remembers me, and in some cases, wrestlers don't really remember too much of their repeated fans, unless they have a good memory, and I met X-Pac back in 2014, and cool guy, and he was at an indie show, and then 3 years later he actually went to the conventions. Now, X-Pac is really a great guy. You know what I'm saying? Despite the fact that what he have done in his past and his drug uses and stuff like that. And I'm not the type of guy to criticize his or anybody else's behavior unless they're an asshole. But X-Pac is not an asshole with me personally. But definitely X-Pac is a really cool guy. You know what I mean? So last time I was at a indie show, not an indie show, but a wrestling convention. I was walking towards like the bar section and I saw him and I was like, "Hey, what's going on, bro?" He remembered me. He said, "Hey, been good, how you been?" And shook hands, hugged like we were like old friends or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? I love the mutual feeling about him. You know what I'm saying? X-Pac is really cool people, so he's definitely on my list of cool wrestlers that I've ever met in my life. Next guy on the list, I know you can't believe it, but WCW manager, WWE Raw manager, Eric Bischoff. Former, I have to say, managers. It's not like he's still in it, but you get what I mean. But Eric Bischoff, I gotta say, despite the fact that people say that he screwed WCW and things of that nature, I feel though is that this guy is a really cool guy to me. You know what I mean? When he saw me, he automatically got up off his chair and willing to shake my hand while take this picture. Very humble guy, I gotta say. Realistically, I don't really have much to say because I didn't really have much of a conversation because I wanted to just get the fuck out of here and go home. But I really feel like I had to meet and take a picture with this guy. Eric Bischoff, I gotta say, really cool guy. No problems at all. May look like a dick on TV, but a really cool guy in person. So basically, he deserved my spot as the cool guy in wrestling. Next guy on my list is none other than Diamond Dallas Page, DDP, Self High Five. Ah man, I really gotta say, I got a story to tell you about this guy. Now, I remember I was like the last person in line, and there was this one guy who took a picture and left, and DDP was very angry about somebody. He was waiting for somebody, and he said something about, "Oh fuck, where's Chuck at?" And he was looking for this Chuck guy. I don't know if that's his name or whatever, but he was looking for somebody, and the guys who were in charge of managing the money and taking the photos and stuff told DDP that I'm the last person in line. So DDP, what he did is that he turned his frustration into a 360, and with that picture of him smiling, it changed his frustration to a very friendly and not only just professional look. You know what I'm saying? And that right there, I applaud DDP. That's just the positive attitude that I liked from him. You know what I'm saying? Because some people who are just so angry will lash out to the wrong people, and on top of that, they may feel like they will take a picture, but they look as if they don't want to take the picture because they're mad. So I knew DDP ever since he'd been doing his yoga and helping people like Jake the Snake Roberts and Scott Hall. Really, really made an impact to people's lives, and also for me, for being so positive and not conflicting that negative energy to the wrong people. So DDP, and also too, he let me carry his WCW title, a replica of his title. And it was surprising, and honestly, I don't really smile like this on this picture, but honestly, it was just wow. It was unexpected in many ways, because usually I would grin or just have a blank stare on my pictures when I take a selfie or with friends. But celebrities is always special. But anywho, DDP is a wonderful guy. Got love for this guy. Always loved him as a wrestler and also as a person. So, DDP definitely, not only surprised me, but, I figured that he was a cool guy in person. So, anyways, DDP is definitely on my good side. Next guy on my list is none other than the apex predator, the Viper, aka the legend killer, Randy Orton. Now, I remember I was in the VIP section when I was at a WWE live show, a house show in Madison Square Garden in my city, New York. I feel like, that was something that I never experienced ever happening to meet the Viper, and what happened was I was going to the bathroom and pretty much do what I had to do and then left the bathroom, and then by the time I went down the hall back to the VIP section, Randy Orton was walking downwards to my direction, and then he saw me and he grinned and waved at me, and I was like, hey, oh my god, Randy Orton. It feels like, Jim Ross was in my head. It was like, my god, Randy Orton. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, wow, I did not expect he was going to be there. And I know he was here just to meet his fans. So I definitely had to get in line to meet Randy Orton. So he came in the right time. So pretty much we both came at the right moment at the right time. But, asshole security told me to back off because he needed his space. But I always didn't want to interfere with people's space. I didn't want to act all crazy. I want him to breathe and have his space because, I heard that, he had anger issues and he'll flip out on motherfuckers in an instant. So I didn't really want to mess up that moment of meeting Randy Orton. So, anywho, 5 minutes later, when I was in line, pretty much, I got the chance to meet Randy Orton, and he signed my autograph book. And I don't really give a fuck about autographs, but the WWE actually give you a pack where you get a water bottle and an autograph book. So I just have it for the fuck of it, because personally, I don't do autographs, and not my style. I prefer pictures because it shows you that you actually meet these wrestlers or meet any famous person in real life. So again, Randy Orton was a really cool guy. Nevertheless, ever doubted him, and pretty much, never try to underestimate people based on what they deal with. So, again, people have their moments, and I picked the right moment to meet Randy Orton. So he's definitely on the cool side when it comes to wrestling. Next guy on the list is the lunatic French Dean Ambrose, aka John Moxley from the classic CZW days. What shocked him is that I remember, just like when I was meeting Randy Orton, he was in the VIP section. But even before that, I remember I was waiting outside, and it was freaking cold outside. And it feels like Antarctica. And the security guards told us that we had to wait for a while to pretty much get inside. So pretty much I was waiting and waiting and waiting for like at least 30 minutes or to an hour. Then I saw a car pulled up, like a big, not a car, but a van pulled up in the side of the building. And it was Dean Ambrose. And he was carrying his suitcase and, and walking towards the door. And, all his fans and even me was like, oh, snap. Oh, shit. Dean Ambrose. And, luckily he gave me a fist bump. So I was like, all right, cool. And then moments later, once I got inside and showed my ticket, and the security addressed me to the VIP section, and by then it was Dean Ambrose and taking the pictures. So I was like, okay, I definitely have a time to meet Dean Ambrose right then and right there. So, Dean Ambrose, I have to say that he was quiet, but at least he is willing to meet and greet and take pictures with his fans. So, I didn't really care too much of a conversation, but at the same time, I would say it's worth meeting Dean Ambrose. So, I would say Dean Ambrose is pretty much a cool guy in my book. Next person on my list that I really, really feel like she deserves to be here is Velvet Sky. Sweet woman, very beautiful by heart, by spirit, and appearance wise. I feel that Velvet Sky was like the type of chick that, you give a great hug, and pretty much when she sees you, she's very enthusiastic to meeting you. And, I met Velvet Sky back in 2014. However, I didn't have a picture of her back then. So, by then, it was 2017. And she actually made a return coming back to the big event. So, I was like, you know what? Since I have the money and I have the time, I definitely wanted to take that opportunity to take a picture of her. And the surprising fact, just like X-Pop, Velvet Sky actually remembered me and said the same thing, that I give the best hugs. I'm like, no, you do. And pretty much, I feel that, wow, she's a really amazing, nice person. And then now it's like I get to take another picture with her. And not only her, but the whole beautiful people. The last time I went to meet them at the big event. So I got to meet Madison Rae and Angelina Love. And my God, I feel like I was pimping. I had the whole beautiful people onto my arms, And, Madison Rae was really nice. And Angelina Love. So I know Angelina Love wanted a hug from me. I was like, girl, everybody gets a hug. I got love for the women, especially if they're in the wrestling business. So Angelina Love definitely was a very nice woman, and Madison Rae, but Velvet is always going to be my homegirl for this one. So basically, Velvet Sky and the rest of the beautiful people deserve to be on the cool spot. Next guy on the list is another Bullet Club member, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. I have to say that I've met this guy twice at a convention, and not only that, but also an indie show. Now, I feel though is that I was never too much of a Cody Rhodes fan when he was in the WWE, because his character was so fucking stale. And he's always switching to different gimmicks between the legacy version of him, the dashing Cody Rhodes, the Stardust. You know, it's just like WWE kind of made him look gay as his character. But when he was released and went to Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling, I feel though is that, you know, his character, and not only that, but his charisma kind of evolved. You know, he's not just, you know, this arrogant pretty boy guy with the paint on his face anymore. It's like he's like the man now, and also a Bullet Club member, you know. So I feel that, you know, this guy deserves to be in my cool spot because, you know, we talked for a minute. I said that your gimmick is so much better, and he appreciated it, and tell him my condolences about his father passed away. You know, I know it ain't easy, but, you know, I just want to show respect for the legend. So definitely Cody Rhodes is a really cool guy, I would have to say, and his wife Brandy is fucking gorgeous. So I give him, you know, some props for that part, you know. But Cody Rhodes is definitely on my cool side. Another guy I have to definitely put on my list is Captain Charisma, aka Christian Cage, aka Christian. Now, I thought that this guy was really nice. He's a very sociable person. I was looking around to see what else wrestlers that I should definitely want to meet and take a photo ops with. Christian saw me and I saw him. I was like, "Hey Christian, how you doing?" He said, "Hey, I'm good." And he asked me what was my name, and I told him. And, you know, he said, "Nice to meet you." And then he asked me if I was having a good time here. I was like, "Definitely." And took the picture with him. So, you know, definitely Captain Charisma is really a good guy. I can't stress nothing about it. You know, a quick conversation. Very, like I said, he was very sociable. Like I said, very nice guy. But he's definitely on my good side of this. Very nice, very polite. You know, and then also that Canadian accent. You know, he's like I said, he's a very great guy to me. So he's definitely on my list. Next guys on the list is the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson. I gotta say that these guys are really cool, and pretty much, I've seen the Young Bucks back in 2014, but I didn't get a chance to take a picture with them, and didn't get even a chance to meet them. But the Young Bucks I had to meet, you know, very good tag team partners and also part of the Bullet Club. I definitely have to say that I really had to meet these guys, and they're very business oriented as well, you know, because they don't need nobody to manage their money. They manage their monies themselves, you know. I like their work ethic, and I feel like, you know, they was willing to give me like at least 4 pictures for $20. And me and my friend, I had to let him be in this picture because, you know, he's also a big Bullet Club fan. So me and my friend in the back there, we definitely throw down the 2 sweets together. You know what I'm saying? So it was a good feeling though. Really, it seems like you feel like you are part of the Bullet Club, and you're meeting the pioneers of the Bullet Club. You know. And you know, despite the fact that I've met people like AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks, it was a cool feeling. So, you know, I'm looking forward to meet more people in the Bullet Club. So, anyways, Young Bucks is definitely on the list. Next guys on the list is the Hardy Boys. One of my all-time favorite extreme tag team partners of all fucking time. I gotta say that this was the best day of my life meeting them. And I remember I was in line for like 20 minutes just to meet these guys. And once I saw Jeff and Matt Hardy, I kind of looked at Jeff Hardy's direction because Jeff is my favorite wrestler. And he was really nice though, very nice, very informative, gave me some words of encouragement. And I told him that we had a lot in common. And she was like, yeah, that's cool, man. And I also told him that I also loved their matches when they was in the TLC and other extreme matches that he'd done over the years and whatnot. And then after his match he did in the Indies, and he played as Brother Nero, and also they was playing as the Broken gimmick with Broken Matt Hardy. Definitely witnessed greatness from that. And Jeff was willing to take another selfie for me. And I was really feeling the moment there. So I feel like Matt and Jeff Hardy are the most nicest people that you ever meet in wrestling. So they're definitely on my list of cool wrestlers ever. The next guy I had to put on the list is nothing than greatness right there. True legend, the Heartbreak Kid, Mr. WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels. Man, it was an honor of meeting this guy, really. This guy made history in the WWE since the 80s, in the 90s, in the early 2000s. I feel like, man, this guy was a really cool guy. And people had said that he was a dick back in the days, but when I met him, I was like, you know what? I definitely gotta make sure to check to see if this is right or wrong. But like I said, everybody has a good experience and bad experience, but I definitely had a wonderful experience. So I remember when Shawn Michaels actually got into the building, and everybody was cheering, oh my god, Shawn Michaels. And I didn't play the music, but for some reason I wanted to do the woman side of sound effect, like Shawn, and then everybody would start laughing, and I saw him grinning a little bit. So pretty much, I was waiting in line for a fucking hour, because it was a VIP people's turn to take a picture, and they took fucking 500 years for them to take an autograph and take a picture and whatnot. And then Shawn Michaels saw me, and he actually liked my own Deadpool hoodie. He's like, hey, I like your Deadpool hoodie. I'm like, oh, thank you. And I was like, damn, this guy is going to be on my list. So by the time it was my turn, he was like, get over here, Deadpool. I'm like, definitely. And throw out the too sweet, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I gotta say, Shawn Michaels was a great guy, and I never thought he was into comic books, so he's definitely on my cool side. Now, I have to put him at number one. This guy right here, Rhino, I have to say, he is the coolest guy I've ever met in the world. He may not be the biggest wrestler in the world, but I gotta say, he is the most nicest wrestler that I ever met thus far. And I remember one time I was looking around to see what else wrestler was there, and when I saw Rhino, I was like, oh my god, I was acting like Paul Heyman. Rhino, Gore. And he was smiling, and he, like I said, he was a cool guy. He said he actually liked my quote unquote hip hop style. I'm like, thank you, man. And I said I want to take a picture with him. He's like, yeah, definitely, and took that picture right then and there. And to be honest though, not a lot of people really stood up to Rhino too much. I mean, I'm sure he did, but he was just sitting there looking for some more people to talk to or just to meet. And I feel like, you know what? Damn, why did you not take your time in line to meet Rhino? You know what I'm saying? This guy made ECW good, and also the Ruthless Aggression. This guy is a motherfucker right there. As in, like, toughest motherfucker ever. This guy will spear your ass through the motherfucking table. And Paul Heyman will hype it up better than Jim Ross did. But this guy is a Paul Heyman guy. Y'all gotta respect that. I had to respect that. So I took the initiative to, at least, and then he was humble because he asked me just to give him $15 and take your picture. So I was like, yeah, that's a good deal. Cheap, friendly, outgoing, and willing to take a picture. I gotta say that Rhino is like the nicest guy that you will ever meet in your life. Again, everybody's different, but with me, even seeing him perform in real life, it was cool. But honestly, I definitely had to meet Rhino. This is an ECW legend right there. So I think he's number one on my nicest wrestlers that I've met thus far on my list. So anyways, I got more wrestlers that I've met that were cool. Unfortunately, I can't put it all into this one video because I've already extended my limits of making this video, but I promise you I will actually put some more nice wrestlers that I met, because the way it looks, I met a whole ton of great wrestlers that were cool. But the next video I'm going to show you and really kind of disappoint y'all, not on purpose, but just the way that they behave. I want to pretty much give you my top wrestlers that I feel though really had a shitty attitude and just plain out suck. So anyways, this is my top nicest WWE, ECW, TNA, or whatever wrestling company top wrestlers that were really cool with me. So anyways though folks, I'm done here. Please leave a comments on the comment section below, like and subscribe. SBX, I'm out. Part 2 coming to you soon. Holla at your boy. Peace.